Hello, good morning. Today we are gonna look at measurement of torque. So this is a very important part from the measurement of torque point of view, because all of you know what is torque. So torque is nothing but force into perpendicular distance, and the unit of torque, that is Newton meter. That is unit of force is Newton, and perpendicular distance or distance unit is meter. So this is nothing but the unit of torque. So torque is required in everywhere, or also torque is required to calculate the power. If you know the torque, we can calculate power, or you can calculate power. So in mechanical measurement, the torque is measured by various dynamometers. So the dynamometers are generally used for measurement of torque. The functions of basic dynamometer is to measure the absorbed power. So whatever the power is absorbed during the experiment or during the reading, so this it measures the power which is in the absorb point of view. So it can measure the friction power also by knowing frictional resistance. So if you determine torque transmitted, so you can determine the power of the engine. So uh, if you have any kind of bike or scooter, so in specification the torque is mentioned. So suppose torque is 10 newton meter, torque is 13 newton meter. So it is designed, or it is designated, specified by the manufacturers. So here next is nothing but the classification of dynamometers or types of dynamometers. The first type is transmission type, which contains the bell type dynamometer, epicyclic gear dynamometer, and the torsion dynamometer. So in D/2 syllabus, the torsion dynamometer is there. Next is absorption dynamometer, which contains the Prony brake dynamometer and rope brake dynamometer. So in our syllabus, these two dynamometers are included. Next is eddy current dynamometer, and the last one servo control dynamometer. So we are gonna look all these types by step. So first is transmission type, which contains the torsion type dynamometer. So torsion type dynamometer, it is also known as Bevis Gibson flashlight dynamometer. So why the name Bevis Gibson flashlight? Because the Bevis Gibsons invented this dynamometer, or they have measured the torque by using this arrangement which contains the flashlight. So this type of dynamometer is totally based on a principle, that is torque is directly proportional to theta. So at here left corner bottom side, I mentioned the principle, that is torque is directly proportional to theta. So this theta is nothing but the angle of twist. So the angle of twist, it is in the part of torsion equation. So you must know the torsion equation, T by J is equal to C theta by L. So what is T? T is nothing but the torque. J is nothing but the polar moment of inertia of the shaft. Okay, so shaft may be solid or shaft may be hollow. Next is C theta by L. So what is C? C is nothing but the modulus of rigidity, and theta is nothing but the angle of twist, and L is nothing but the length of the shaft. So polar, I mentioned here the polar moment of inertia of the shaft, that is J. So J for the solid shaft is pi by 32 into d raised to 4, and for hollow shaft capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4 into pi by 32. So from above equation we will get one formula, that is torque is equal to C theta by L into J. So if you put Cj by L, Cj by L as a constant K or K dash, in some books the K dash is mentioned, so K into theta. So K is nothing but the constant. So here we will get torque is equal to K into theta, or torque is directly proportional to the angle of twist. So from above equation, if you know the theta, we can calculate the power. So power formula, you know, 2 pi n t by 60, where n is nothing but the speed in the RPM. So this is nothing but the principle or the theory behind the torsion bar dynamometer. Next is how it works, or what is the working principle behind this. So here we have to consider the two discs, names are A and B. which is in blue color, and they are connected with one shaft. Okay, the shaft, we can consider the length of the shaft L. uh, the pink line indicates the light line. So here behind the A disc we can place the light. So A disc and B disc having the slits, so we can consider slit or a slot, so from which the light can pass. So as there is a straight line passing from one slot to the another slot, means there is a no transmission of a power, so that the light can pass from first slot to the second slot. On the another side of B, we can place the eyepiece, which is generally used for the measurement purpose. So behind the A disc, we can place the light source, and behind the B disc, we can place the eyepiece. Another arrangement is there. So eyepiece is connected to the vernier scale. So at end, I will tell you what is the use of vernier scale or micrometer. Uh, Next, the first light, if there is no transmission, the light can easily pass from the first slot to the second slot. The figures B, C, D are the another views of the figure A. So figure A we can consider as a front view, and figure B, C, D are we can consider as a top views. So when there is a light passing from one slot to the another slot, and the eyepiece can easily record it the light or the reading, it means there is a no transmission. So what happens when the power is transmission? When the power is transmitted on the shaft, the power transmission can be through linkages. The direct power is not transmitted. So in second figure, so when the power is transmitted through the linkages, the A side, that is left side of the shaft, will rotate slowly, or will rotate slightly, and this is nothing but the angle of twist, because it rotates first and then the side B will rotate. So because of this, there will be the unbalancing in the system. So light will not be passed from slot A to slot B, because as the A rotates first and B rotates second, so there will be unbalance. So these two slots are not in the same path, so there will be unbalancing. That's why eyepiece will not rotate the reading, but we have to get what the angle of twist. So what to do? The next is rotate this eyepiece with vernier scale to get what the exact reading. So rotate the vernier scale to get the light in the same line or in the same path, so that we will get here at last the reading on the vernier scale or on the micrometer. So this theta is measured, and put this theta into the formula Cj by L into theta, you will get the torque. So once the torque you get, you can calculate the power. Torque is equal to 2 pi T by 16. So power is in watt. So this is nothing but the torsion by dynamometer, which is very easy. It is also known as Bevis-Gibson flashlight dynamometer. I hope you can understand this. If you have any doubt, you can ask or you can mention in the comment. Thank you.